Mark Zuckerberg decides to go head-to-head against Elon Musk's Twitter with his own variation of Twitter. Some call it the Twitter killer, called Threads. Today we're going to be taking a look at some of the positives as well as the negatives and hopefully help you to decide if you should get a Threads account. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much once again joining me for tea time. Look at that. Tea time, guys. It is tea time. I hope you're joining me with your cup of tea, maybe a cup of coffee, hanging out, talking tech, talking photo, talking video. Today is a tech day, I guess. Software tech? I don't know. We're going to be talking about Zuckerberg. We're going to be talking about Elon Musk and some other things, but we're going to focus on Twitter as well as Threads. Threads being the brand new platform, the brand new application that Mark Zuckerberg has invented, or some people call stole. But we're going to get into this today because I think that is very interesting. It is a brand new application. I was on board with Twitter way back at the very beginning, right around 2009, I believe it is. About 14 years ago, I started my Twitter account. If you want to find me over there, go to twitter.com/JCristina. I'm starting to post there a lot more as of late. I kind of dropped off for a while, and you can figure out why. Anyways, we all know that Meta is no stranger to playing copycat, right? They copy social media networks all the time, and Threads is basically another one of those. If you guys don't know it, you remember Stories, when Stories came out? That's basically taken right out from where? Snapchat. Talking about Snapchat, if you remember, Threads actually was, let's say circa 2019, it was a standalone application. It only garnished about 200,000 users at the time. But this is 2019, and this was Zuckerberg's ripoff of Snapchat. You remember? That's exactly what they ended up doing with Threads, but it just didn't work out. And by 2021, I believe they just closed it down. Now this brand new Threads, maybe a reincarnated Threads, is now a ripoff. Instead of Snapchat, is a ripoff of Twitter. That's just how it goes. You remember Reels was the same thing. They created Reels. What is it? A direct response to what? TikTok. So I have a question for you. Do you think that Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates could possibly be long-lost brothers from another mother? Down below in the comments, I want to know your thoughts on that question. Anyways, when Threads was announced, there was a bunch of statements that were made. One of them was this. They said, Threads offers a new, separate space for real-time updates and public conversations. Sounds like Twitter. We are working towards making Threads compatible with the open, interoperable social network that we believe can shape the future of the internet. Now, Zuckerberg himself was quoted in saying, "It will take some time, but I think there should be a public conversation app with 1 billion plus people on it. Twitter has had the opportunity to do this, but has nailed it. Hopefully, we will." So, he is very hopeful, let's say, in being able to nail that 1 billion number of users on this application or on this platform, and that people actually use it. And that is the big $1 million question. Now, Threads acquired over 100 million users in 1 week. In just a couple of days, it was like 30 million users. It was crazy the amount of people that got on board Threads. And what we saw was the majority of these people were just simply not happy with Elon Musk taking over Twitter. Some people just don't like the whole idea of having that blue check mark that you have to pay for, $8 or whatever it is per month. Whereas before, that blue check mark kind of represented something like importance or maybe clout or maybe celebrity. Now it just represents that you have $8 extra per month. This is a problem for some people. Also, many of them were against the idea of loose content moderation. Whereas others deem it as free speech, some people do not view it that way. They want more moderation instead of less free speech instead of more. So these are the type of people that immediately flocked over to Threads. And while I'm not one of those people, I did end up getting an account. And the reason I did is with every social media platform, I always get an account right away. And I'll tell you why before the end of this video, because it is not important when we talk about Threads and the Threads app and a Threads account. And once again, I'll get to that before the end of this video. Now, recently in the media, there's been a lot of talk about people upset with the post-reading limitations that were happening over there at Twitter. And a lot of people are, we're gonna abandon ship as we can't read as many messages as we want, so on and so forth. Well, I did some research on this. And what I found out was the limitation to that reading of tweets. And the limitation is pretty large. I mean, you got to read hundreds and hundreds, like almost 1,000 tweets. But that limitation was put into, or that measure was put into place by Elon Musk, because what ended up happening was there's a ton of data scraping of their content, data scraping by unregistered users. So what he did was he put in or implemented this, let's say, cutoff point. Whereas if you're an unregistered user and you read, let's say, 1,000 tweets, you're going to be throttled back. You just can't do that. Now, I'm not going to speculate who is data mining or scraping Twitter. You could be the judge. Matter of fact, down below in the comments, I want to know what you think. Who do you think is doing this data mining, and why are they scraping Twitter so hard right now? But Elon Musk did follow up with a tweet. And this quote was right after Threads was released. And he stated this. He said, "It is infinitely preferable to be attacked by strangers on Twitter than indulged in the false happiness of hide the pain Instagram." Follow that? Well, he's got a point there. He does have a point. Anyways, what I'm going to do is I want to give you some of the positives here with Threads, and then I'm going to give you some of the negatives and talk to you about it a little bit with my experience on using it and what I think. So some of the positives are like this. Now, unlike Twitter, that has a limit of 280 characters, and that is it per tweet, with Threads, you have up to 500 characters, so it's almost twice as many. So if you want to say something that's a little bit more in-depth or detailed, you have the ability to do so on Threads in comparison to Twitter. In Twitter, you have to do tweet after tweet after tweet to basically say whatever you want to say. You have to do 2 tweets for 1, let's call it. Also, just like Twitter, you have the ability to like, comment, as well as repost any of those threads, which is great. And what's really nice, just like Twitter, you can include clickable links within those threads to be able to take you off the platform. A lot of platforms do not allow you to put those clickable links in there. They frown upon it because they want you to stay put in their system or ecosphere, right? What is also a really nice positive is that Threads allow you to post videos twice as long as videos you can post on Twitter. Whereas on Twitter, you can post videos that are like 2 minutes and 20 seconds, whereas here on Threads, you can post 5-minute videos. Once again, that is great for sharing content. I think 2 minutes, 20 seconds is enough, but I think 5 minutes is a really nice sweet spot if you want to do something that's short, but it still has some substance behind it. For me, the shorts that you see over on YouTube that are 60 seconds long, they're too short, all right? It's basically a TikTok, all right? It's just very, very small tidbits of information that's just kind of pushed at you as fast as possible with words popping up. It just doesn't give you, let's say, good content. It just gives you like a euphoric feeling. Maybe something happens that's shocking, or something that is just elating, or something that just makes you happy. It's just a feel-good type of thing. Swipe and swipe and swipe and swipe. Where I do think that 220 or even 5 minutes, even better, you can actually express yourself and put something of value out to the universe instead of just junk. Anyways, that's my opinion. Maybe yours is different. If it is, down below, let me know. What do you think about TikTok? Are you a swiper? You know you are. Anyways, another great thing is that Zuckerberg has said that he will not monetize Threads as of yet. There will be no ads, no advertisements on Threads until he hits 1 billion users. And then at that point, no holds barred. It is what it is. There's going to be advertisements everywhere. We know that. Also, what I do think is nice is that the photos that you do post on Threads feel like they are not reduced in quality as much. They're not compressed as much. And the aspect ratio is open. You could share a square image, you can share a 16:9 or a 9:16. Whatever you would like to share, you can. And once again, the images are much clearer. I feel like they're not as compressed. Now, how long are they going to be able to deal with that size data where you have 5-minute videos instead of 220 and you have pictures that are full resolution or higher resolution? That all takes up a ton of data, but it's Meta. They got a ton of data available to them. If they want to spend it that way, use it that way, so be it. But I think that they might reduce that in the future, especially when there's a lot more people actually actively using it. Not signing up, but actually going in there and actively using it. And I'll get into that in just a second. So let me get into some of the negatives because everyone wants to know what are the negatives? Do I want to even get involved? Now, one of the things that they shouldn't have done a copy paste of when they copied Twitter and created Threads was the inability to edit your posts, to edit your threads after you actually make them public. And I think that that is a problem. They need to fix that. You need to be able to edit those posts after the fact, 30 seconds after, a minute after, whenever, however they want to do it. But I do believe you should be able to edit your posts. I think that that is a good thing. Also, there is no web application as of now. The only app that you can get is an app for your Android phone or your iOS, your Apple phone. That is it. Now, also, there is absolutely no trending topics. So some people love trending topics and they go there specifically on any of the social media platforms just to see what's trending, what's going on. Well, Threads does not have that as of now. Also, their search functionality is pretty much terrible. As of now, they're going to really need to throw some Cheetos, some Mountain Dew at some kids to start coding a better search mechanism because it's not great. Also, the home feed, let's say, is not customizable, which I think kind of sucks. Your home feed, I think you should be able to customize it to whatever you want to see. As of right now, they haven't done that. That's something I'm sure will come in the near future because I'm sure there's a ton of people that will request it. Also, your Threads profile is intrinsically linked, connected to your Instagram. So what that means is you cannot delete one or the other. They're kind of the same. They are directly linked, which I think is kind of stupid, but I understand why they're doing it. Now, one of the major problems that I have with Threads is it's a Meta subsidiary, right? It's Meta. And Meta is known. It has a long history of data mining. And there's a lot of people that will not use Meta anything because of the data mining and the lack of privacy. These are the same people that won't have Google devices, Amazon devices, the Echoes, and all the rest of stuff in their homes because they feel that it is a breach of their privacy. So what I did is I did some research on this just to see what they say about what do they collect, right? How bad is it? Guys, it's not good. So this is what I found is collected. This is what they state. Search history, location, browser history, your financial information. What the hell is that? It is stated, quoted, and sensitive information. Now, when I saw sensitive information, I'm like, well, shit. How much more sensitive can things be besides your location and your financial statements, right? Your financial information. That's crazy. But anyways, what they call sensitive information is this, guys. Racial or ethnic data, sexual orientation, pregnancy or childbirth information, disability, religious or philosophical beliefs. Really? Trade union membership, if you're in your union, they know it. Political opinion, genetic information. What? I'm not kidding here. Genetic information and biometric data. What the frick is that? Now, this is all factual, right? This isn't conjecture. I'm not just making this up. This is literally listed. And that's just baffling to me. Baffling. Genetic information, how do they even get it? Maybe they're like sourcing it from other sources and they have it, or in the biometric information, maybe if you use some other device and then they can get I don't even know. But all of this, biometrics, genetic, what is your sexual orientation? What is your religion? What is your political beliefs? Are you in a union or not? Like down to like nitty gritty stuff. And I think that's why a lot of people are starting to limit the social media application use and only use the ones that are, let's say, in line with their belief structure instead of just using everything ad hoc. I think this is really very, very important. What do you think? Down below in the comments, what do you think about that list? I want to know what you think about the sensitive information, as they call it. I want to know what you think about all of the stuff that they're collecting. Should they be collecting it? What say you? Once again, down below in the comments, I want to hear from you. So, speaking about data collection, while I was doing some research, I found this data collection firm. It's called Sensor Tower, I believe. Yeah, Sensor Tower. They basically collect data and analyze it. And what I found out was something really interesting is there was a significant drop-off. This is exactly what they state. There's a significant drop-off in growth and engagement since Threads launched. On Tuesday and Wednesday, the platform's number of daily active users went down 25% from Saturday. That was like that initial rush. Down 25%. Meanwhile, the time spent on the app by users have plummeted by 50% from an average of 20 minutes per users down to 10 minutes. That is a massive drop-off. They also quote this: "These early returns, despite all of the hoopla during the launch, it will still be an uphill battle for Threads to carve out a space in most users' social network routine." While there was intense interest in checking out the app initially, not every user has made it a habit of visiting Threads as often as they might other social apps. This is very important. The bottom line here, guys, is people's time is becoming more and more valuable to them. And like I said before, I think that people are thinking twice before using a social media platform, especially one that does not align with their values. And I think that's why there was that major uptick and downtick when it came to Twitter. All of the people that were really focused on the quote, having a say in things and being able to have free speech and not be censored so much as the old Twitter, was very happy of getting back involved in Twitter. I'm one of those people because I believe in free speech and I believe in you having the common sense to decide what is good and what is bad. I don't need to tell you what is good and bad. You could decide for yourself. Down below in the comments, I want to know your thoughts. Can you decide for yourself? Or do you need an entity to be able to moderate you? I personally don't. Now, data overload is definitely a thing these days. We can only consume so much content. And like I was saying before with TikTok, when you have an entity like that, that gives you just fixes, which is kind of like a crack pipe of data. Just swipe and swipe and swipe and swipe and swipe and swipe some more until you're swiped into oblivion. What happens is people they pull back. And now they really have to start focusing on where they spend their time. If not, they will just go into like a drooling mess of nothing, of just swiping themselves once again into oblivion. Now, some people are going to say, well, how much of an effect did this Threads launch have on Twitter? And I think that's a really good question. I did some research on it. Now remember, in the first couple of days, there was like 30 million users on Threads. And within 5 days, there was over 100 million users. That is massive. Well, during the heyday, let's say the first 2-3 days, how did it affect Twitter? Well, it affected Twitter by a whopping 5%. There was 5% less traffic, according to these researchers, 5% less traffic on Twitter's site in comparison to before. So they lost 5% during that initial rush. But now that we see Threads kind of falling back a bit, 50% less engagement, going from 20 minutes down to 10 minutes of usage, 25% less people are really interested. It's just kind of plummeting at this point. That 5% probably back down to nothing, maybe 1%. So it really has not made a substantial difference to Twitter at all. Could it turn into something amazing? Yes, absolutely it could. But time will tell. Remember, keep this in mind. Out of those 100 million users that they got, think about how many new users did they get? Probably next to none. And the reason is no one had to create an account. If you had any account on any meta platform, right, you would just immediately be traversed into Threads. So I had an Instagram account, and when I downloaded the app, it's like, hey, you have Instagram. Do you want to use that to log in? I'm like, sure. I click the Instagram, and what happens? Boom, JCristina is now my Threads account. That's kind of awesome. But it's not great for them either because they're not getting any new blood. It's kind of like more of the same. You're just moving people from using Facebook or using Instagram to moving to Threads. You're not getting more, right? And that's where I see that the problem lies here. Is you're not bringing in new blood. You're basically just recirculating your blood to different areas of the body. Now, like I said at the very beginning of this video, in the past, I would immediately jump onto any social media network and get an account. Why? Because I want to save my place, JCristina or JCristina, even better, my name. I want my name there. So if the platform does blow up, like Twitter did, that's why I got an account in 2009. That's when I started my Twitter account, so that now I have my name. If you go to twitter.com/JCristina, you find me. Okay. So this is what I wanted to do with this. But as we can see, you don't need to do that because what they have done is they've basically saved your name or saved your login or whatever already if you have that Meta account of any kind. Let's say you have your Instagram account. So it doesn't really make a difference. You don't need to rush out today and go get the Threads app and log in and get an account and create an account because you don't need to. You already have one waiting for you, which is really odd to me. So once again, I think that it's a good thing and I think it is a bad thing. I think it's a good thing for us because we don't need to rush in. But I think it's a bad thing, once again, for them because they are not getting new people. They are basically recirculating the people that they already have. What do you think? Down in the comment area below this video, I want to know what you think about Threads. Is this something that you're going to jump in on? Do you like it? Have you already played with it? What are your thoughts behind it? How do you think that it compares between Twitter and Threads? Which one do you like better? And why? Even more importantly, or if you're against Threads, why are you against it? And don't forget, I want to know what you think about that sensitive information that they are collecting, because I was floored when I found that out. I want to know your thoughts once again down below. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I did creating it. If you did, throw the video a thumbs up. That'll be very helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And if you are, click this little button over here so when I go live or when a new video comes out, you will be notified of it immediately. Also, don't forget to pick up my ebooks. They're free. Go over to JCristina.com/books. Once again, JCristina.com/books. They're 100% free. Also, if you want to just say thank you for all of my hard work, there's a little thank you button down here. You can click on that. Give $1 or $2. If not, that's even better. Consider becoming a member. That would be awesome. We would absolutely love to have you here. Don't forget to also join my newsletter. It is free. You can unsubscribe anytime. Go to JCristina.com/join. And finally, if you're looking for a VPN, or maybe you need faster internet, or maybe more reliable internet, check out Speedify. I've been using Speedify for the last 3 months. They are awesome. We have a 20% off discount code. It is JCristina. Use that. Check them out. You will absolutely love it. Also, if you just want to click a link down below, I will leave a link in the comment as well as the description. That link is JCristina.com/speed. Once again, JCristina.com/speed. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools I've invented for you and me over the years. And hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me and my family. That's it, guys. I'm out of here for another vlog. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you in the next one. Love you all.